Hi friends, have another craft for you today. Today we are going to do book folding. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but you can fold a book and make all kinds of things. Today we're going to make a remembrance ribbon. Hope you can see that. And a great technique that I did not do on this is you can shade it. So you pick which remembrance ribbon for this one that you want to do, like I'll probably do for AIDS, and you shade in after you have this folded. You go in and you take a marker, or you can take a highlighter, you can take a pencil, color pencil, and you can shade. I've done it before with marker. It works great with marker. So you just get a wide one, and I don't know if you can see, there's a little indentation right here, so you can see the ribbon. Makes it more evident where the ribbon is. And you just take your marker and you shade the outside, just like this. And it can be whatever color, because there's a color for everything that we're doing for the remembrance ribbon. But this is a book folding technique that you can do for any kind of pattern. There's a bunch of free ones online. This one is free online, and I will attach it to in the comments of this video. So you can use this pattern. It's a relatively short one. All you need is a ruler that has metrics, not just the American Standard English inch form, but the metrics. So you need that. You need a book. And for this one, this pattern, you need a book that is at least 20 centimeters tall. So honestly, I just picked this up at the Dollar Tree. But any book will do. This one's 22 inches. I think this is kind of standard. This one's 22 inches, so that's what it's gonna look like. I don't know if that's in my frame. This one's 22 inches, so that's what it'll look like. It'll fill up the whole thing, but you can get a taller one. So if you have a taller book, then the remembrance ribbon won't take up the whole book. You'll have plain sheets on top and bottom. It'll be a smaller, it looks really neat. So it stands up by itself. You can actually attach a ribbon to the book. You might want to be aware of, it has to be hardback, so you might want to be aware of what the book itself looks like. This one's red, this one's white with a black binding, because you're going to see it this way. You might not want words, but you know, it's up to you. You can also paint hardback books. I've done that before, so you can paint it. I've used chalk paint, but you can use whatever you would like. But they paint great. So if you have one that you want to use and it's not the color you want, you can always paint it. So you need a book. For this pattern, it needs to be at least 20 centimeters tall. It needs to be, it needs to have 199 pages. So let's say 200. It needs to have at least 200 pages. That's how many is going to be needed to make the actual pattern. So this book has, what does this book have? 147. Okay, 147. So you need a book. It needs to be tall enough, thick enough for your pattern. And for this pattern, it needs to be at least 200 pages, 20 centimeters tall. You need a pencil. And I already told you need a ruler. Isn't this a crazy ruler? This is my daughter's ruler. It's rubber. But the wooden one I had did not have metric on it, did not have centimeters on it, so I can't use it. All right, I'll show you. Also, with this one, I had to use a pair of scissors. That's new. I've done this before with hearts, done a heart, but my book was taller than I needed it to be. And it was wider. So these books are a little shallow for my folds. So I had to cut some of the sheet, some of the book page to to get it out of my way. So that was interesting. So mine was a little shallow, but there's always a way around it, so no worries. So I'm going to show you how to mark. You mark every page off your pattern, and then you go back and you fold. If you get, you know, bored, which you wouldn't, of course. All my crafts are fun. But if you, it could be a little tedious at times. I think it's relaxing, but you can always stop marking and go back and fold a little bit and then jump back in. So I'll show you how that works. So this is what a typical pattern looks like. Remember, I'll have this attached for you so you can print it off yourself. It'll look something like this. I got 3 columns, right? This is saying my first page that I'm folding. There's space here, so if I'm gonna fold for a little bit, I might want to write down the page number so I don't get mixed up. Like, say I do this for a little bit and then I got something else to do. And then I come back and I'm like, oh, where was I? So you might want to put the page number, at least a few in here, to mark yourself, you know, so you remember where you are. Then you have the first measurement and the second measurement. That means every page that we're marking is going to have 2 marks. The first measurement and the second measurement. And I'll show you how that works. So first you need to figure out where to start in this book. Where am I going to start in this book? And there's a formula for that, which I'm going to tell you, but I'm also putting it in the comment below so you can look at it again. But you take the last even page in your book. So I'm looking. You get the last even page number of your book. What's the last even page number of my book? Is 246. And you divide it by 2. So 246 divided by 2 is 123. So that's the number I'm working with, 123. Then you subtract. How many folds does it take to make this? Your pattern tells you, or most pattern tells you. This one did not tell me. So I counted. I'm making each fold on this side of the page and this side of the page. I counted it all up. It's 100. It's 100. So however many folds, we're going to make 100 folds to make this ribbon. This remembrance ribbon. So the formula is get your last even number in your book. I forgot what that was already. All right, 246. And then you divide it in half. 123. And then you subtract the number of folds it's going to take to make this pattern. Our pattern is going to take 100. So 123 minus 100. 23. That's my starting page. You are going to mark on the odd number page of your book. So if you open up a book, your left side is even and your right side is odd. This is the side. The odd numbers in your book is what you're going to mark on. Say we did the math to find out my starting page and it ended up being an even number. But I'm marking on the odd number pages. Not a problem, just add one. Just add one and go to the next side. So we are gonna mark 2 marks on this page because it's my first starting odd number page. I'm gonna turn the page and I'm gonna mark 2 marks on this one. And I'm gonna turn the page, 2 marks on this one, 100 times. 2 marks, 2 marks, 2 marks, 100 times. Then we'll go back and fold. So let me show you what that looks like to mark. Obviously, we don't have enough time to do 100 times, but I'll show you how it works, and this is what we end up with. So you take your ruler, you find your page, you put your ruler on the very tippy top of your page. Some people mark this way. They hold their book sideways and mark in front of them. I like to mark up and down, whatever works for you, however you can best see to make these marks. You can go this way, because see how my book's not changing. You can go this way, make sure your ruler is flat up against the top and that we're even all the way down. and you're leaving it in place and making the 2 marks. And I'll show you how that works. So you can either go this way or you can go this way. I like to do it straight up and down. Just be consistent, because you're going to be at an angle. It's not like you're going to be right on top, or at least I'm not right on top of it. There's going to be a slight angle that you're viewing your ruler at, right? Just make sure it's consistent. If you want to do it this way, do all of them that way. If you want to do it this way, do all of them that way. And then that way, if you're off just a hair on your marks and your folds, it's all going to work out perfect anyway. So, you take your pattern. I'm not on my right page. Let me get on my right page. 23 is my page. I'm going to show you on something else that you can see better on too. So I'm placing my book, my marker on here, just like this. And then I'm going to mark on it. So under my first page, it says my first measurement is 14.3. What does that mean? You go down to 14 centimeters, and then you go 3 little lines past that. 1, 2, 3, and you make a mark. Just like that. I haven't moved my ruler yet. I'm looking for my second mark. My second mark is 14.4. That is not very much difference, is it? 14.4. That's my 2 marks on my first page. I'm going to put that I'm starting on page 23 so I don't forget. And then I'm going to do a check mark that I've actually done that. Now I just have my first page, got 2 little marks. I'm going to switch to my second page, and I'm going to go do it again. Put my ruler up here, nice and flat. What does it say? It says that my second mark, my second page 2 mark is 14.4. So I'm going to go down to 14 centimeters. I mean, it's 14.2. Going down about 14 centimeters, and I'm doing 2 little lines after that. And then my second mark is 14.5. So I'm going to 14 and I'm marking 0.5. And those 2 marks are finished. I'm going to put a check mark so I don't forget where I am, and I'm on to my next one. So let me show you on something you can see. I have a regular sheet of paper here, and I have a Sharpie. So you can see, I do not zoom in. I do not use a second camera. I am actually just doing these videos for my seniors. I work for Senior Services, and I am doing it for them. And they can do their own crafts at home, and the leaders can actually use the video to help them figure out how to do the craft when they're leading them in person. So, I don't get all that technical with extra cameras and stuff. This is just the way I do it. So hopefully this will be more visual for you. I'm going to go back and do like my first mark, 14.3. I'm going to put a mark here, 14.3. Do it with a big old Sharpie so you can see 14.4, not much difference. See what I mean? 2 pages on one. I mean 2 marks on one page. That's it. That's how you do the craft. Then you go through the whole 100 marks. 100 marks. Then you fold. So now it's time to fold. I go back to my first page. This is my first page. The first mark, you fold the top of your page down at a 90-degree angle. You fold it down and you crease it right on that mark. You fold it down, 90-degree angle, and you crease it. This one's not quite 90 degrees. Let me adjust that a little bit. See? That's 90 degrees. So the top part of your book page, this is our book page, the top part goes down. The bottom part goes up and does the exact same thing, a 90-degree angle to the second mark. So you take your book page, you make a 90-degree angle and you crease it. And that's what each page looks like. Each page was folded twice, just like this. Now you can see what I was talking about on this one, about I need to use scissors. See how wide that is? And I folded it. I made an extra crease to fold it and tuck it into the book. What did that do for me? It made my book puffy. It made my, it made it more thick than it generally would be. But some of these pages, like if I were to fold this in half and it'd be a book, let me fold this in half, like it's a book. Some of the pages are too long, see? This page is too long. All you have to do is grab some scissors and cut it off. So you grab some scissors. Does not have to be perfect. You're just getting the excess off. Because when it's in the book, you can't see it. Ta-da! So that's what I did in here. Some of them I just folded, like the one I showed you at first. Like this one has an extra bend here at the top. I just folded it in. It gave my book more thickness, which is kind of cool. I like it that way. You can cut it off if you need to cut it off. Some of them, you need to make sure they're 90-degree angles, that you're folding and creasing in 90-degree angles. Maybe you're folding it and you can't fold it and keep it in the book. Like I'll show you on this side. Maybe I'm making a fold and it goes way over past where my crease is. I don't know if you can see that with it being white. All you have to do is cut the top of your page or the bottom of your page just a smidge so that you can make a 90-degree bend, a 90-degree fold. And then you cut the excess off. So I cut that a little bit. I'm making a 90-degree fold. Then I'm taking my scissors and I'm cutting the excess off. And when I fold the book, you're not going to be able to tell. You do not know how many pages in this that I cut so that it would fit to fold. Whoops, I'm upside down. Because you can't see it. You can't see it. So this is the first time that's happened to me. I've done a few of these and the book has been deep enough that I did not have to alter the page at all. But if you have to alter the page while you're making your creases, it's not a problem. Just snip off the extra. Just make sure that you have a 90-degree fold. I'll show that to you again. I have a scrap piece of paper here. Where's my scrap piece of paper? Oh, I use this one. So, mark your marks. Look on your formula. Look on your little pattern. First mark, 14.3. I'm going to come down 14 centimeters. I'm going to make a mark at 3. Second mark, second measurement, it says 14.4. I'm going to come down. I'm going to make a mark at 14.4. I got 2 marks on my paper. The top one, the first mark, is where I bring down the sheet of my book down to that first mark, and I make a crease, 90-degree angle. Then I take the bottom sheet page, part of the page of my book, and I bring it up to the second mark that we made. I make a 90-degree angle. So you're gonna, this is what every page is gonna look like. You're gonna come down to the first measurement, and you're gonna go up to the second measurement. And then once you fold them, they're gonna be different kind of peaks That's what's in all of this. Different peaks. Little by little, you're moving where you're making your marks and how you're folding. And all of it, crazy as it may seem, makes this. Isn't that cool? That is so cool. Now, they do sell tools to, once you make these creases, to make your crease like super sharp. You can, I just fold them. But you can also use the back of your fingernail and make it more crisp. Or you can take like a little putty knife or butter knife or something. This is done with none of that, not even my fingernail. I just creased it and left it, and I love it. I love how thick and pretty it is, and I'm gonna put a marker and go on the edges to make it stand out. I like it just like this, but I am gonna do that. They make all kinds of things. Faces, words you can spell out I love you, or hope, or you know, it's crazy what the options are out there. They're not all free patterns, you might have to pay for it. But try with this easy one first. Give it a go, you might like it. And it's actually a lot of fun. I'll have everything you need in the comments, so don't worry about that. And that's it. That's how you book fold. Thanks so much for joining us today. I hope you liked it. I hope you try it. And we'll see you next time.